So, hey guys, Chauzu here. I'm going to talk about the new metal exchange. It's been a while. I made this monthly before, but I cannot stop, mostly because it's really hard to give advice. We take myself, for example. I have almost 3k medals. For me, that's not that many medals. I've had more before. But for some people, that's nowhere close to where they are. They might be below 1000 tickets. And you can't give the same advice to both types of players. Like in my scenario, for example, it's not too bad to pick up a legend or two from time to time, just for level limit breaks. I've done that plenty of times. But like, the people who don't have this law, for example, they're the people with not too many medals. You should never buy that law. That's incredible bait. I can't believe they take 600 medals for him. Like, he's on Sugofests all the time. Like, if you take a look at the event info here, for example, for this global anniversary, like, they just keep spamming the same legends. Many people are really frustrated about this. Like, Marco all the time, Frankie, Odin, Kinmon, Danjiro, We2 CatDog, like Nami Usopp, Robin Jinbei, We3 Sora, like, they are all the time on Sugos. Like, we don't get away from Law either. He's on part 2. Hiyori is also on every Sugo Fest. He as well Kid, Brook, like, you can't miss these eventually. You will pull a lot of these. They are not like Film Red, Usopp Yasop, or Lakaru and Ben Beckman, who barely appear for some reason. Or Tobiropo, who's also a bit more rare for some reason. They do appear a bit, but not as much as this. But this law literally once per month. He's on a pretty, like, an end of month Sugo Fest or something. So you will get him eventually. Take it easy. But yeah, other than that, like, no letting buy this month, like Usopp maxed, Robin maxed, Curb maxed, Nami maxed. Like, everything is maxed basically, so I don't need anything here. And I don't really recommend anything. That's a personal decision in the end. But let's talk a bit about the limited units. Didn't mean to press Cavendish, but we can say that he's not that good. You can skip him. There's also a lot of Psy Cavendish, so if you want to run, say, a barter support for Cavendish or something, you can run other units. That Sanji is okay, not a top priority, but he does have seed reduction on a very low cooldown. It's a shame it's just for one unit, but I've been close to use him a few times on niche speedrun teams, but if you don't care about that, you can probably skip him. There's a lot of Dex Sanjis in the end. Iwanko, not that special either, and there's a lot of Sai Iwanko. But the remaining two here on the limited might be worth considering. We can talk about the more niche unit first, in Kuma. First, I want to say that this is not the only int Kuma, there's also a Neo Kuma that is int. Note Neo, so probably won't rerun anytime soon. They almost never rerun. Not quite sure when I picked up my Neo Kuma, but I do have one. But yeah, one reason you want an int Kuma is the fact that Kuma has one of the best supports in the game in the bonus support. 3-5 times of bind removal sometimes. That's not just replaceable. Like, if you say the captains, everybody gets bind except for the captains, and you don't want to run a captain removes bind or something, you can just slash on Kuma, removes everything automatically. I've used bonus so much, so having every Kuma is valuable. And even if you had a Neo Kuma, this is the only int shooter Kuma, which might be important sometime in a future Grand Voyage or something. So if you have the spare medals, I'd pick him up for sure, even if his special is not the best. -2 CD for top pro is not the worst though, but I've been close to using maybe once or twice, but never used him myself. Garp though, everybody should own a copy of this Garp for sure. First, his special is actually not bad. Removes special bind, chain lock, and gives color affinity to Free Spirit and Powerhouse. Like, that's a pretty decent combo. Good unit to have in your toolbox. It's a Garp unit too, so you can put on the Kobe support. I've used this Garp from time to time. Been a while since last time, but he's nice to have. but mostly you want him from his support. And if you do buy him, he attaches to Ace and Sengoku. So with a new Ace coming, it's pretty nice to get a support for him. I've used this support a lot. I actually pulled 2 Garp when he debuted as Treasure Map Rare Recruit. And I kept both because at level 1, you remove 1 turn of Special Bind, nothing more. By level 5, it's still only 1 turn, but you also get to have very small color affinity. I'm not going to lie, sometimes that extra color affinity is really clutch. Let's say if, like against Arena Crocodile, for example, final stage, you get 6 turns of Special Bind. I've used this support there. And you also get color affinity, and you're not allowed to use color affinity specials that stage. So this both lets you get remove Special Bind and get color affinity in one support. Very cool. But most of the time you don't want that. So if you only buy 1 copy, keep it at level 1 for sure. Great support though. You should definitely buy this. Like, no matter the player, everybody should buy a copy of this Garp for sure. Might very well come in clutch in future content. As for the permanent characters, they added some more rare recruits, which is nice, I guess. Don't know who'll buy them, but the big deal, of course, is adding all of these World Clash units. World Clash was a hype event back in the day before I started playing, where Global faced off against JP. So kind of like the World Cruise they're doing now, but that was more like a pure Blitz type event, I think. Don't really know the details. But all of these are decent. We can start from worst to best, I guess. And most will probably agree that Luffy is the worst. He's a very unique color and type combo though. This is a strength fighter free spirit Luffy. Crazy, right? You've never seen that before. Anyway, jokes aside, special is a bit whatever. Bind the spear removal 4 turns, does some damage. 1.75 times attack boost for strength. Potentially up to 2.25 times, but that will be rare. So yeah, not the best, but I don't have this Luffy, so I will definitely pick him up. I might as well pick him up now. Look at me here, I bought the Luffy. Now I own him. Into the OPTC Pokédex he goes. I actually really like this unevolved art. I have no idea how it looks evolved though. Moving on, Akainu. I've actually had him. I used him a lot back in the day when I was pretty new at the game. I paired him up a lot with Luffy Law. Worked pretty well actually. He removes attack down and increased damage taken by 5 turns. Changes strength and quick characters slots, including block to matching. And gives a 1.75 times attack boost. Up to 2.25 times potentially, but not likely. And yeah, just a solid unit. Should definitely pick him up. Just a solid combination of utility, orb manip, and some potential damage dealing, even if it's pretty low numbers. But yeah, for sure, pick him up. I already own it, have I said. But this Blackbeard, definitely the best of the bunch. This looks like a unit I could have released this year. Like, I'm not saying he's like the best ever, but this is pretty solid. Like, 5 turns, death up and damage threshold removal, 1 turn of barrier remover, 50% HP cuts. You can use like Wheat Resort to get an ore boost. And you also get a 1.75 times attack boost for Dex. So potentially good utility and getting attack and ore boost in one special for Dex. That's actually really hype, and it's a Blackbeard unit, so here you have quite a lot of good support to use as well. And I don't own him either, so I might as well pick up a copy now. I'm taking it. But yeah, this update is pretty exciting though for the future of the Medal Exchange, because we actually got into pretty recent territory in terms of limited Treasure Map re-recruits. Like, I'm really crossing my fingers that they rerun that Van Ogre. Let's see if we can take a look at him. I might have misspelled it as well. That happens. If I just write one though. There he is. The Treasure Map re-recruit Van Ogre, if you don't know, he's a key unit against Don Krieg Grand Voyage, because he lets you remove 2 turns of paralysis with Treasure Map Legend Blackbeard. So some of the best team use him, and if he ever gets released, it's time to make a lot of new Krieg teams, I feel like. I feel like it's possible to make more Krieg teams, but a lot of them will require this guy, so. But yeah, maybe one of the best teams right now does require him, so. But I want to end this by saying that there are some accessible Krieg teams, and for Krieg at least, in terms of the best teams, you can find all of them in my channel, so take a look at my Grand Voyage playlist or search for Chauzu Krieg Grand Voyage or something. Should get those up. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.